Hi everyone, hope everyone is safe and well and staying at home. Marlow Ropes has asked me to just do a little tutorial on kiteline splicing, something that everyone kind of avoids doing and believes is very difficult, but is actually very simple when you know how to do it and you have the right tools. So I hope you enjoy. First things first, decide what kiteline you're going to use. I'm going to use the Kiteline Race 99-270. This is a 1.3mm kiteline from Marlow. It's what I've been using on all my kites for the past 2 to 3 years, and I would definitely recommend it to any racer getting into it. They also do a 1.5 in the Kiteline Race for anyone who wants something with a little bit more braking load, but personally I've never had an issue with the 1.3. First thing we're going to check is that the end is cut, not melted with a hot knife. It needs to have this for our berry. If it is melted, just chop it off with some scissors. I've used this reel before, so it's not going to be a problem. We're then going to get our tool. This is my absolute favourite tool for splicing any kind of kite line. From Marlow, it's the Kiteline Splicing Needle. Anyone who's used either a sailmaker's needle or a normal fid or a wire before will know how annoying, painful and strenuous the process is. This makes it 100 times easier. I always use a tape measure to determine how long my tail is going to be. The reason for this is that if you get the tail slightly different each time, it will affect how long the line is and will also then affect the stretch of the line. Personally, I use 10 centimeters just because it's easy to remember. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put our needle directly through the center of that 10 centimeter point. Try and make sure it's even on both sides. It will definitely make it easier and a lot stronger. As I said, what we're going to do is try and do it without the other end, because generally speaking with kite line, you don't have the other end because it's a very long line, and if you do have the other end, it's just a bit of a pain to get it through. So you're going to make a little loop and thread this whole section through the insert you just made. It's a little bit fiddly, this bit, but with a bit of nails, just pop through like that. And what you'll have there is we've now got our loop. If you look really closely, you'll see that this bit of line here is twisted. We really don't want that at all because it will massively decrease the strength of the splice. And what I found is when I've left it in there, that's where the line will snap, nowhere else but on that loop there. So we're just going to get rid of that. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our needle and we're going to pass it up towards the loop. Going to take our tail and just pull it through. What you'll see is that twist just disappears. Then we can decide how long we want our loop. Personally, I go for a thumb, like this. Again, try and make sure it's the same every single time. If you want to use a tape measure, then do so. I've done this so many times that I generally know how long it needs to be. Then I'm going to put our needle through the line that's disappearing and thread our tail through. Just a bit of stitching here. Oh. There we go. And there is your lock. Generally speaking with kite line, you use a lark's head, so it's not necessarily needed, the lock, but I like to put it in anyway, just as a little bit of peace of mind. Okay. At this point here, you've got two options. You can either taper the line, which is a bit of a faff, but if you've got the time, I would definitely recommend doing it. It just means it's clean it into this, but for this tutorial, I'm not going to. What we're then going to do is we're going to find an opening. Usually I choose 2 or 3 strands down and just pop the fid through. Now this is the bit that if you're using a needle or a wire, it gets quite difficult, but with this it's super easy. And you're just going to feed the fid down the kite line. As I said, it's a little bit tricky, but Now, you want to go slightly over your tail length because the line will shrink as soon as you put the tail through, and just pop it out the other end, like so. Then you're going to take the end here. Make sure you don't put too much in because it will make it a little bit difficult for it to thread through, but enough that it's not going to pull out on the other end. And we're just going to feed this through like this. You'll see it's popped up. Use of the fid is now over. And we're just going to hold the tail here and just push it all the way up. And what this will do is it will get the line all the way, and you'll get a really nice close splice up at the top. Then just going to hold the loop like in one hand and just feed it down with the other. And there you have it.